Another cup of Maxwell House coffee, George?
Sure. Pour me a cup, Gracie.
You know, Maxwell House is always good to the last drop.
That drop's good, too.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Toby Reed, Gail Gordon, Hans Conried, Elliot Lewis, Meredith Wilson and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie. And for America's everyday coffee-drinking enjoyment, it's Maxwell House. Always good to the last drop.
I think we'd be safe in saying that George Burns' life is never dull. Gracie sees to that. As we join them now, we find Gracie telling George about her new interest, spiritualism.
What?
Spiritualism. Oh, it's wonderful, George. This medium, Swami Abul, goes into a trance, and I talk to people in another world.
What a racket. How much does this medium charge you to talk to that other world?
Oh, his rates are very reasonable. $1 for the first 3 minutes. And 50 cents for each additional minute. It's certainly worth that to talk to Julius Caesar.
You talked to Caesar?
Mm-hmm. I had a long talk with him yesterday. And you know something about him? He's very stingy.
Caesar is stingy.
He wouldn't let me reverse the charges.
Probably spending all his money on Cleopatra.
Mm-hmm. I talked to her, too.
Well, she's a sociable girl.
Yes, yes. You know, I was surprised to find she had a Brooklyn accent.
Gracie, this Cleopatra's out front. Gracie, this whole thing is a fake. Nobody can talk to Caesar and Cleopatra.
I can, George. Swami Abul says I'm unusually receptive to messages from the other world. He says I'm no ordinary woman.
That I've known for years.
He says my whole body is like a delicately turned radio with a large vacuum tube on top.
Gracie, this medium is out to get your money. Don't go back to him.
But I have a seance scheduled for this morning. The spirits are going to give me some more advice.
You say.
Oh, that must be Meredith. He's going to the seance with me today.
Meredith goes to the spiritualist, too.
Mm-hmm. He's another one with a vacuum top.
Probably got 2 tops, one for each head.
Come in.
Hello.
Hello, Meredith. Are you ready to contact the other world?
Bet I am, Gracie. I brought along my flute today to play for Beethoven.
You're going to play the flute for Beethoven?
Yes, George. To see if I'm rendering his compositions properly.
Oh, why don't you come with us, George? You can contact Joe Miller and see if you're telling his jokes right.
Never mind. Look, Meredith, don't you realize that Beethoven couldn't possibly hear you play the flute?
George, upon sober reflection, I am forced to admit that you may be right. Of course Beethoven couldn't hear me.
Well, sure.
He was completely deaf.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Gracie, I'll go to the seance with you tomorrow and take Beethoven a hearing aid.
Well, I give up. I'm going to the cigar stall. I'll see you later, beautiful.
Very well, George.
Who's that in the telephone booth, Pops?
Oh, that's Joe Bagley. He's still trying to sell that lot he's got down in the swamp.
Bagley will never make a go of the real estate business. All he thinks about is playing poker.
Yeah. That's why he didn't sell a house to the new preacher, you know.
See.
Sure. Before he handed the Reverend one of his business cards, he shuffled and cut them.
That's Bagley, all right.
Well, Pops, I still haven't found a sucker who'll buy... George! Old pal. My bosom friend. How would you like to buy a beautiful lot for only $5,000?
Go away with that hunk of swamp. $5,000.
I'll come down a little. Take it for $800.
I wouldn't give you a nickel for that swamp full of mosquitoes.
George. Oh, pal, I'm not asking this for myself. I don't mind if I starve to death. Life has been gay and good.
I think that'll get me.
I've lived. But it's Clara I'm thinking of.
Well, of course.
Clara and the little one. If I don't raise some money, I may never hold those little ones again.
What little one?
The little ones he's been holding in the poker game.
All right, so I've been losing at poker, but I still need dough. How am I going to sell that darn swamp lot?
Why don't you ask Julius Caesar? That's who Gracie gets her advice from now.
What?
Yeah, some phony swami named Abul. And has got Gracie believing that she can talk to the spirits.
You mean Gracie believes the advice she gets from them?
Oh, sure, you know her. She's on her way to a seance now.
George, I think I'll take your advice and go see that swami.
Joe, I was kidding. The guy's a fake. Caesar can't sell that lot for you.
He might, George. He might. Now, here's my proposition, Swami. I'll give you $5 if you'll have your spooks tell Mrs. Burns to buy my swamp lot.
How dare you suggest that for a paltry $5 I would dishonor my mystic powers?
I'll make it 10.
I'll take it.
Good. I'll get behind that curtain and be the voice of the spirit. Then I'll sneak out the back, circle around, and close the deal.
You can't fail. Mrs. Burns is preternaturally receptive to occult manifestations.
Meaning?
She'll swallow anything. Oh, there she is now. Get behind the curtain.
Yep.
Enter the mystic portals, O seeker after knowledge.
Oh, hello, Mr. Swami. Can we have a short seance today? I'm trying to visit the other world between a bargain sale and a finger wave.
Very well, Mrs. Burns. Shall we contact the spirit of Julius Caesar?
No, I'm tired of Julius. Let's try someone else.
Would you care to speak to Benjamin Franklin at a slightly reduced rate? I also have a special on poets today. Shelley and Keats for the price of one.
Oh, no, they don't sound very interesting. Yeah. Oh, I know. How about Napoleon?
I can offer Napoleon for $1.
Well, that's very reasonable. I'll take him.
I will now go into a trance and establish contact with the other world. Bonaparte! Bonaparte!
You're calling the wrong man. I want Napoleon.
Napoleon! Can you hear me? Speak to us, Napoleon.
Hello. This is Napoleon. Someone here wishes to speak to me?
Yes, I do. Have you got a message for me, Napoleon? Some advice to give?
Yes. I advise you to buy a lot.
A lot of what?
A piece of real estate.
Oh,
This real estate must be in a swamp.
a swamp? Well, do you think I'll be able to find some?
Certainement.
Certainement, huh? All right, if you say so, Napoleon.
I must go now. Bonjour. Au revoir.
Waterloo.
Was the seance a success? Did we contact Napoleon?
Yes, and he advised me to buy some real estate in a swamp.
We must follow the advice of the spirit.
But I don't know where to find a swamp.
Hello, oh, learned Swami. I have come to... Oh, why, Gracie.
Why, Joe Bagley, what are you doing here?
I am a believer in this great man, Gracie. I sit at his feet and follow where he leads.
My goodness, doesn't it wear the seat out of your pants?
I mean, I seek guidance from his spirit world. Right now, I want to contact the spirits and see if I should sell a very valuable lot I have in a swamp.
Joe, that must be the lot I'm supposed to buy.
You?
Yes. Napoleon gave your name wrong, though. He said I could get it from a certain mole. he must have meant Joe.
Yeah, well, Gracie, I wouldn't want to sell this valuable lot without consulting the spirits.
But Napoleon okayed it. He just hung up.
Well, all right. Here's the deed. Just sign this promissory note for $800.
Oh, thank you, Joe. There.
You've made a wise investment, Gracie. You're a brilliant woman.
Oh, well, it's just noticeable because I'm so young. Good night, Joe. Oh, George, I've got wonderful news. I just bought a lot from Joe Bagley for our future home.
Wait a minute. Is it in a swamp?
Oh, darn it. Napoleon must have told you.
Napoleon?
His spirit advised me to buy it.
This sounds like a Joe Bagley trick to me.
Oh, it couldn't be.
Honey, does it make sense that Napoleon would tell you to buy a swamp?
Certainly, he loves swamps. He spends lots of time there.
Huh?
In all his pictures, it shows him with his hand inside his coat scratching a mosquito bite.
I'm in trouble.
Merit of the Silvery Moon and When Hearts Are Young, the lovely music of Sigmund Romberg.
It's just the music for a May evening. Even the Romberg titles, Blossom Time, New Moon, and Maytime itself.
Yes, and season after season, those operettas grow in favor. I suppose romance will always be popular.
Well, let's hope so, Toby. But Romberg music can stand on its own 2 feet. Like all good composers, he knows fine music must be woven of many parts, each letter perfect in itself. Here's a famous Romberg number. We'll play only the mellow harmony. See if you can recognize the song.
Well, I like the harmony, Meredith, but I need more.
Well, let's add this equally beautiful counter melody.
So far, it's very lovely, but something's still missing.
Then we'll work in this vigorous rhythm section. And now to round out this lovely song, we'll blend in the melody.
Everybody's favorite, When I Grow Too Old to Dream. Yes, America's favorite songs. They're blended carefully of many perfect orchestral parts. And the superb flavor of America's favorite brand of coffee is created in much the same way. That coffee, of course, is Maxwell House. Just one coffee alone could never account for the famous good-to-the-last-drop flavor of Maxwell House. No, indeed. From the rich, fertile highlands of Latin America, many premium coffees are chosen by the Maxwell House experts. They select Manizales for mellowness. For richness, they add Medellins. For vigor, they select other choice coffees. And for fine, full body, they add Bucaramangas. These they carefully blend in one great coffee, Maxwell House, which is then radiant roasted to flavor perfection and brought to you vacuum-packed and roaster fresh. So if you find real enjoyment in good coffee, discover the extra pleasure you get in America's favorite brand. Tomorrow, discover the extra flavor, extra satisfaction of America's favorite brand of coffee. Discover why now more than ever, all this extra flavor and satisfaction makes Maxwell House today's outstanding coffee buy. Tomorrow, ask for Maxwell House. Always good to the last drop.
Gracie, I drove you out here so that you could take a look at this lot you bought from Joe Bagley.
Yes, our future home.
Look at it. Swamp full of mud, rubbish, poison ivy, mosquitoes, snakes, bullfrogs, and quicksand.
Where will we put the living room?
We can't live in this swamp. It's unhealthy.
It is not. Don't alligators live in swamps?
Sure.
Ever see a sick alligator?
Yes. He had alligator bags under his eyes. It's awful, but I had to say it. Gracie, we can't live here. Look at the size of those mosquitoes.
There's one on your arm. Slap it.
I'm afraid it'll slap me back.
I don't see how you can say this place is unhealthy when it grows those big, strong mosquitoes.
Gracie, stop trying to defend this awful mistake you made. Now admit it. You were talked into buying this dump by a cheap swindler who stole the money right out of your pocket.
That's not true. Napoleon didn't lay a hand on it.
Stop with Napoleon. Let's go home.
All right. Oh, wait till I put up my no trespassing sign.
No trespassing.
Mm-hmm. When your own property is nice as this, you've got to protect it. Now, let's see. I'll drive the stake in right here between the poison ivy and the mud hole.
But don't hurt that rat.
Yeah.
Come in.
Howdy, little man.
Oh, hello, Tex.
Hey, you sound a mite low. Are you distressed?
I ain't delighted.
What's crowding your craw?
Gracie went to a phony medium, and Napoleon advised her to buy a worthless lot.
Napoleon wouldn't do that. No Texan would cheat a lady.
Napoleon was a Frenchman.
A man as famous as him must have been a Texan.
Look at your history book. He was defeated at the Battle of Waterloo.
He got licked?
Yes.
Why, that ornery Frenchman cheating a lady.
You said it. I'll never be able to sell that lot. It's a swamp full of mosquitoes.
Well, I can get rid of them mosquitoes for you, little man. I'll just take a couple of barrels of oil over there and spread it around. That'll kill them.
Gee, that would be swell, Mr. Judson. Without mosquitoes, I might be able to get part of my money back on it.
Well, I'd just be glad to do it for you. You folks have been right nice to me. The first day I come here, you treated me like a king. And why should you? You didn't know I was from Texas.
Well, here's the address of the lot. Now, be sure to tell me.
George, shall we put the swimming... Oh, hello, Mr. Judson.
Howdy, little lady. Your husband told me about that lot you bought.
Oh, it's such a lovely, quiet, peaceful spot.
Quiet and peaceful. Wait till the nighttime when those hundreds of bullfrogs start sounding off.
Yeah, and soon them bullfrogs will have thousands of baby ones.
Oh, you men are so innocent. It's the cow frogs that have the babies.
It's the cow frogs that have the baby. Oh, I like your sense of humor, man. Oh, we're seeing you.
Well, Gracie, thanks to Mr. Judson, I may be able to sell that lot. Give me the deed.
Oh, I can't sell that lot. How could I face Napoleon?
Gracie, forget that. I don't want people going around saying that my wife and Napoleon talk to each other.
Why, George, you're jealous.
Give me the deed to the lot.
No, I can't, dear. Not unless the medium contacts the spirits and they okay it.
Gracie, the medium is a fake. A complete phony.
If he was a phony, would great people like Caesar and Napoleon have anything to do with him?
I'll see you later.
Well, what brings you over, George?
Oh, Gracie's in the clutches of a phony medium, Bill.
Huh?
She thinks she's been talking to Napoleon.
Hey, one of those guys offered to put me in touch with Helen of Troy.
Bill, don't tell me that you're trying to talk to Helen of Troy.
Oh, no, she's trying to get in touch with me.
Stop kidding. I'm out $800 because Napoleon told Gracie to buy a swamp. And now she won't sell it without his okay.
Well, that's easy, George. Let's get his okay.
Yeah, but how?
Well, we'll stage a fake seance here in my apartment, and I'll be the voice of Napoleon.
Hey, it might work at that. Who'll we get for the medium?
Well, yeah, that's a problem.
Got to
well,
have
we
a medium.
yeah, we might.
Excuse it, please. Is anybody using this telephone booth?
Professor Korkendorfer.
Somebody spoke?
You know, he always thinks my room is a telephone booth. Yesterday, before I could stop him, he shoved 30 cents down my throat.
How could I make such a mistake? I got ice like a how.
Let's say, Professor, could you pretend to be a medium and contact the spirit of Napoleon for Mrs. Burns?
You ask a great scientist to do such a ridiculous thing.
Please help me, Professor. My wife has got me into an awful mess.
Oh, then I do it. I know what trouble a wife can cause.
Oh, you got a wife?
Well, I had one, but I lost her.
Oh.
Gee, that's a shame, Professor. How'd it happen?
We was walking down the street and I lost her.
I thought you had good eyes.
For sure, I got eyes like a house.
Then why couldn't you find your wife?
Who looked?
I'll call Gracie and get her right over for the seance.
And I'll get behind this curtain and be the voice of Napoleon.
Well, Professor Korkendorfer, so you're a spiritualist medium.
Yeah. I guess there is something in that stuff after all, Gracie. Are you ready for the seance?
Oh, yes, I can't wait to speak to Napoleon again.
I contact him right away. Napoleon, here is Professor Korkendorfer calling. Speak to us. Hello? Somebody spoke?
This is Napoleon. I have the message for Gracie Allen. Sells the lot. That is all. Over.
Well, all right, if you say so.
Oh, swell.
But, Napoleon, why does your voice sound so much huskier than it did this morning?
I have the frog in the throat.
Oh, still hanging around the swamps, huh?
No, I have the hoarseness.
Oh, well, do what I always do. Drink a cup of hot coffee.
Oh, oui. I drink the Maxwell House coffee. Too sweet.
Well, don't put so much sugar in it.
Let's go, Gracie.
In fact, Napoleon, I like Maxwell House coffee without cream or sugar. That way you get the full flavor.
Oh, oui, and what a flavor.
Yes.
Très bon, très magnifique, très marvelous, très terrifique. Let's face it tastes like $1 million.
Let's go, Gracie. Napoleon is tired.
You know, Mr. Napoleon, you're an awful lot like Bill Goodwin.
Well, that is why Josephine loves me. And I love Josephine because she makes for me the fine, rich, mellow Maxwell House coffee. Good to the last drop.
The lot, Gracie. Let's go sell it quick. You see, if we
Wait a
sell it
minute.
now, we won't...
Mr. Napoleon, for a spirit, you certainly know a lot about Maxwell House coffee.
Well, but of course. Maxwell House is out of the world, and so am I. The rich fragrance of the superb Maxwell House blend is so appetizing. The delightful aroma creeps up from the steaming cup.
Stop. It sounds so good, I gotta have some. We'll come out from behind that curtain and make me some delicious Maxwell House coffee.
Okay, Professor, I want some too.
Uh-huh. I thought so. You three cooked this up to get my valuable lot away from me. Well, it won't work. I'm going to the lot right now and decide where to put the living room.
But, Gracie, this...
Shame on you for trying to trick me. I knew men were deceitful, but I'm surprised at you, George. Goodbye.
Professor, you gave it away.
Yeah, Professor, you lost your head.
Don't worry. If I lost it, I find it. I got eyes like a house.
Joe, I've just come from that lot you sold me, and I discovered something terrible about it. You've got to take it back.
Sorry, Gracie, a deal's a deal.
But look, Joe, look, I ruined my shoes. The lot's full of oil.
Sorry, Gracie, a deal's a... Oil?
Yes.
There's oil there?
Yes, the poor mosquitoes are all lying around dead. And if it'll kill those nice, healthy mosquitoes, think what it'll do to George.
Are you sure there's oil there?
Well, there wasn't this morning when I drove that stake in the ground, but when I went back just now, it was covered with it.
You drove a stake in the ground, and now there's oil?
Yes, and I can't have that in my yard. Even if it didn't kill George, he'd come in the house oiled every night.
Gracie, I'll take the lot back. I place honor above money. Here's your note. Give me back the deed.
Oh, you're good, Joe. Good. Oh, but I hate to think of you being stuck with that old swamp full of oil. What'll you do with it?
Oh, I'll try to sell it to some rich man who doesn't care about money. Somebody like Rockefeller.
Oh, good luck, Joe. You deserve it.
Bagley took the lot back and gave you your money? I don't believe it.
I told you he was a fine, decent man. The minute I said there was oil there, he took it back.
Oil?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Judson put oil there and Bagley thought?
What are you laughing at?
Oh, he thinks he's got himself an oil field. Come in.
Howdy, little folks.
Hello, Mr. Judson.
Mr. Judson, old pal, I want to thank you again for that wonderful idea of spreading oil on my lot.
Well, you're welcome. I got the oil on my truck now. Come on, we'll go over to the lot and spread it.
You didn't. You haven't. There's really oil in.
Oh, what are we crying about?
Join us again next Thursday when we'll all be back. George Burns, Gracie Allen, Bill Goodwin, Meredith Wilson, and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and yours truly, Toby Reed.
We're a little late. Good night, everybody.
Good thing.
The easy way.
Do you like good things the easy way? Then get instant Maxwell House coffee.
So good.
So good. True coffee flavor and fragrance because instant Maxwell House is not a so-called coffee product. It's all pure Maxwell House coffee in instant form.
And so easy.
So easy. Instant Maxwell House means great coffee instantly in your cup. No fuss, no muss, no bother. Today, try Instant Maxwell House. Instantly good to the last drop. Until next Thursday, good night and good luck from the makers of Maxwell House Coffee. The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show is written by Keith Fowler and Paul Hemming. And now stay tuned in for Noah Webster Says, which follows immediately over most of these stations.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.